Let me guess. You have been trying to run a business because you want freedom, and then you end up with 80, 90, 100 hours a week of work. You want to really scale your business, but you don't know really what scaling really means. You're like, my gosh, Phyllis, if I could do this, and this without spending all these time, this will be a win for me. But I don't know how to get it going. Well, you're in a treat. I actually just have a call with my 100K student who just made his first $1 million within a year and a half. And we actually have talked for about 4 hours and come up with these skills that what makes him successful. And thus he have done what he's done in such a quick and easy way. Are you ready to listen to that? Well, the very first skills that he actually learned is the growth mindset. Carol Dweck actually really talk about it. The difference between fixed mindset and growth mindset people is that you embrace failure. What does that really mean? Well, anytime you get into a failure, how do you feel about it? Do you like, oh my gosh, this is so bad for me? You grind yourself, you hurt yourself for 5 days, and then you go back up? Or you're like, oh, congratulations, I failed again. Now I'm going to learn and I'm going to figure out what went wrong and then re implement and then go for it. That's the difference between fixed mindset, like, oh man, I can learn anything, I can really figure it out, or the growth mindset is like, hey, it's okay as long as I don't stop learning, right? As long as I am growing, I am winning. One thing that Tony Robbins told me that it really impressed me is, did you notice that kids are so good at games? Why? Because if they play and they die, they just like, oh, they play again and then they die again. They play again and die again. My son is playing this game called Geometry Dash, and he went through like thousands of times on the same game. I was like, babe, why are you not tired of it? He's like, this is fun, mommy, because I figure out how to get to all these steps and I'm going to go to the next step. And that is exactly what we need to do in our business, right? Because we just have to go one step at a time. If we fail, start again. If we fail, start again. And next thing you know, I promise you, if you take a minute right now and think back 5 years ago, what is the one mistake you have done, right? And how did you scale from there and how you have grown from there, right? Give yourself a high five right now. Everybody actually do have growth mindset. It's just how you embrace it and how you're not dwelling on your failure to get to that win. Point number two is the clarity of the vision. This is one thing that I talk about in my book all the time. A lot of time, the reason why the business is not growing or is kind of like going really slow or you're like breaking and fixing beside the growth mindset is that you do not have a clear vision. However, you are allowed to play. I wanted to say you're allowed to play. You're allowed to try on the jeans, see whether you like it or not, and then take it off if it doesn't work for you. However, you also need to know that if you do not have clear vision, then chances is the result that you're getting is not going to be as great. When I first started, I really have no clear vision. I just know that, okay, this is the business that I like. So, my core reason why I am doing what I'm doing is I wanted to keep every single kid at home. That is the core reason why I started the business. So I shared that with my team. Why? Because growing up, my parents is too busy, and thus I grew up alone. I feel like there's a lot of things that I'm missing, and I miss my parents. And now this business that I'm running is because I want you as a busy mom, you as a busy virtual assistant to be able to stay home, make good money, and still be able to raise your kids. How amazing would that be? Am I right? The truth is, you don't need more hustle. You just need more clarity. A lot of the time, what I do is I just stay home, drink a cup of coffee, meditate, think it through before I execute. But a lot of people, what they usually do is they will throw the spaghetti on the wall and see what stick, and then decide what's going to happen. So I would suggest you to do the other way around. Make sure that you have more clear vision first before you execute. And then your team will have better clarity and then they will move faster. So you don't have the hallucination that, man, I'm running really fast, but how come I'm not going anywhere? Because you're on a treadmill. Point number three, align communication is not what you say, is what they hear. And surprise, surprise, that might surprise you too. A lot of the business owner, a lot of communication that you wanted to have for people, it's in your head, it's in our head. We fail to communicate out to our mouth and say, hey, this is actually what we want. This is what we're really looking for. And then repeat after me. Did you hear what I'm saying? Can you type it into WhatsApp, emails to repeat what I just said? Or can you check with AI and literally understand what I'm really saying? And this is the five things that I truly wanted to do. Most of the time, what I noticed when I was coaching my team, I noticed that there's a lot of misalignment. So actually, you wanted to go to the east, but your team thought that you actually want to go to the west. Have you experienced that? If you do experience that, type it down below and say, yes, I have experiences. I told my team to do A and then found out that they are doing B, and you get really angry and then you yell at them. And then at the end, you get C, and you're like, okay, I need to cool myself down and refix the whole thing. So a lot of time, align communication. When you have the meeting with them, make sure that you are very clean and clear with them. Then execute. Then it will save you at least 50% of the time due to miscommunication. And skill number four, this is actually my favorite, not the most powerful, but my favorite is delegation with leverage. 9 out of 10 times when my client that come through my door, they always tell me, I'm overwhelmed. I have too many things to do. I can't get it done. I have a bunch of to-dos. That's why I keep putting out fires and never innovate. And thus my business is no longer be a competitive or the number one on Google or anything like that. That's why I keep telling you, you need to delegate. If you want to make $1 million and only work 40 hours a week, that means you're worth $500 an hour. So what is below $500 an hour? You need to delegate everything out. I work with Myron Golden, work with Russell Brunson, work with Tony Robbins, work with John Maxwell. And one thing that I learned from them whenever I asked them question is they said, I only good at what I'm good at. The rest of them, I don't know. John Maxwell said, I don't know how much money is in my bank account. Myron said, I don't know who set up this event. I just know that I need to show up. Russell doesn't know who, what is the software that they're using for hiring, right? And for me, I get very, very comfortable right now that, to be honest with you, I don't know how the payroll process is. I don't know how to log into our softwares. I don't know a lot of things. I just know that my job is to build relationship, make this video for you to see, learn all the innovative skills, social media skills to implement for my business, and obviously hit approve on payroll. Other than that, I don't do anything else. Okay, everything else is leveraged by all my people. Even like this video, right? I record it. And after that, my amazing Jade is going to take the video, cut it out, post it on social media, create thumbnails, titles, and description. All that I spend is maybe 30 minutes recording this video. And then the rest of the 3 hours is done by him. Imagine if every week you need to make a video, how much time you are actually saving, right, to ensure that this is done. So, if you wanted to scale, if you want your family to still love you, if you still want to have impact, and you still want to remember how you really look like, please delegate everything. That's why I was called the Queen of VA. Do you know? I even delegate homeschool tutoring of my children to my virtual assistants. And once upon a time, I did delegate love letters to my husband, to my virtual assistant, and my husband found out about it. But it avoid divorced. All right, the number five skills. I can't believe I'm telling you this, but this is the one thing that have changed me, have shifted my business and my life. That is flexibility with structure. I used to be a structured girl. I need to know what's going on with the whole day, what I need to do, what I have to say. I'm very certainty driven. Everything has to be in the box and has to be in the perfect box. However, if one day something is a little bit off, man, my day is ruined. I don't have anything to do. I'm like, I'm done for the day. I shut down my business. I need to take a day off, right? I don't have flexibility. Everything has to be within that control. But what does that come with? Come with constraint of my business because it is a human business. I'm in a virtual assistant space. Everybody is human. Every human is different. How many error and mistake would that happen? A lot. And thank God I work with Tony Robbins. I was one time crewing for Tony Robbins, and it was the very first Zoom event that he has created. There's 22,000 people sign up. I was really surprised, and 10,000 people can get in on the first hour. I think about 15,000 people cannot get in. And in my mind is that, oh my gosh, if that is me, I would have shut down the company. I will file bankrupt. I don't know what to do, right? 22,000 people, 15,000 people cannot come in. What am I going to do, right? If this is my business, thank God it's not my business. However, what I realized is, you know what Tony Robbins really embraces, like, it's okay. All the trainers like, don't worry about it. We're gonna get you in. Let's have a coffee. Let's drink something. How you do something is how you do everything. We're gonna take care of you no matter what, right? Just wait until we fix it and everybody come in. And then that's really what happened. Tony was so flexible and so in flow, and the whole team is so in flow with the challenge that they are not expecting. At the end of the event, everybody was so happy about it. That is the very first time I realized, wow, I thought a company that is run by Tony Robbins is going to be perfect, right? Everything is within the box. Everything's going to be perfect. There's nothing is going to go wrong, right? But my goodness, there's so many things that have went wrong that day that because of flexibility mindset, that we all managed to just solve it, figure it out, and handle it with no bad emotion, right? No complaints, no victim mindset. I was like, wow, that is what I need for my company. And because of the flexibility, now we have about 300 members in our company that work for us every single day. And I am still happy. I'm still smiling, even though every second right now, I bet one person is make one mistake that I did not know. But I'm still okay, right? My business is still growing because I'm embracing the flexibility. And if you cannot fix this flexibility thing with yourself, or if you cannot get outside of your box, then ask yourself, how come your business haven't get to where you need to go? All right, are you ready for number six? Number six is the number one key. Number six is the number one key. I used to be a miserable person. Whenever something goes wrong, I just dwell, I complain, I blame somebody. I just have the shittiest mindset, right? And now I realize that, wow, I've changed. It took me 8 years to change. Okay. It took me to go to every single event, go to hypnotherapist, go to EMDR, go to multiple, events, getting to know myself, healing my personal wound. And I realized now officially, I told my student, I have arrived. Okay. I have arrived. I have owned and mastered my emotional mastery. Yes, your state whenever something really happened. How do you feel? How do you carry your state? Are you sunshine, or are you hurricane? Are you tornado, or maybe it's an eruptive volcano? I have clients who come to me and kind of like a volcano eruption, like every time just come, oh, and we have shifted like 10 virtual assistant for her, and she's like, Phyllis, how come nobody works? And I was like, honey, I really love you, but I have to tell you, you're angry all the time. Nobody would like to work with you because it's so stressed to work with you. And reflect back to me, I used to be very moody and miserable all the time. I'm laughing about the old me, not the new me now. Okay, hello. And things have changed so much because now when there's challenge, there's a fight, I always laugh about it. I want you to all write it down or type it into the comment for me, right? What is the gift in this? Or you can also say, life is happening for me, not to me. I wouldn't say I am perfect, but I have mastered my emotion. Now, every time I see my team, right, or I'm running into a challenge, I always dealing with it with a smile. That's what Tony Robbins is talking about. You can hear that I love Tony a lot, right? Mindset, psychology is 80%, state and strategy is only 20%. If you have a shitty mindset or a bad state, right, bad emotion, whatever solution that you come out is never going to be the best solution, because a lot of times you just wanted to press the button or you just want to put a band-aid over the wound. But if you really have a good emotion and good mindset, whenever you come up with a solution, that usually is the real cure for the symptom, and you should most likely be fixing everything. So check yourself. How do I feel right now? If you're like, oh man, I'm so frustrated, I'm upset, I'm depressed, or whatever, give yourself a little break. Maybe get a drink, right? Have a walk, take a deep breath, or do a Superman post, right? Or think about something good. Have a picture of your family, right? Imagine, what does the perfect world look like? So you can calm yourself down, take some deep breath. Then you can figure out what is the solution for the problem or the challenges you got. And I can guarantee you, if you master these 6 steps, you will be successful. There's no doubt in mind that you'll be successful because you have all the skills that you need and want and be able to get to figure this out. So I share with you my top 6 skills. It took me 20 years to figure this out, and at least $1 million in coaching, and you're getting this 100% for free. Well, actually not free because it's costing you time to study this. I hope you really enjoying it, just like what my $100,000 student looks like. These are the 6 skills that we embrace for 6 months, and within 6 months he make about 720,000, and overall it hit him and execute to 1.2. And the next thing that we are really talking about is how can he get his $10 million in revenue. If that is what you want to do, type it down below too, and let me know what is some of the challenges that you're running into so that I can share with you my top tips on how to get there.